If you're catching up on the amazing digital circus and try to watch 7 episodes but got confused, here's the ultimate recap. This is easier to understand if you know the story of Cain and Abel and the short story called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Trust me, especially as the show is inspired by those two things. The main protagonist is called Pomni, and she just put on a headset that teleported her to this VR experience. Pomni is empathetic and always questions things. GANGLE is socially anxious and loves to draw. Zubul is a bit of a hothead but can have deep heart-to-heart conversations. Kingo is jumpy and has memory loss. Jax is a very annoying person. He also breaks the fourth wall. Ragatha just tries to make everyone happy. Kane is the leader and is a silly little guy. Bubble is even sillier. Kaufmo has
been obstructed. Okay. What is that? Might be that terrible.
That is an abstraction. That basically means that when you have passed your mental breaking point, you turn into that thing. After a quick break, after a brief chase scene, Pomni finds an exit door and enters this place that is like a maze. She finds a computer and VR headset in a building that says CNA, aka Cain and Abel. If you know anything about Christian religion, on. Anyway, Cain finds her and teleports her back to the circus. And also, by the way, the WalkieWatch.com is an actual website. Also, Kaufmo is put into the cellar, which is where all abstractions go. And that's it. We just find out that Cain does adventures to keep their minds healthy and stimulated, and that there is no way to escape this horrifying VR experience. On to the next episode. After having a nightmare of abstracting and everyone forgetting about her, Cain sends the characters, except for Zubul, as they retaliate, to Candy Kingdom, where the Queen informs them that 3 bandits have stole a truck of maple syrup and they have to get it back. After a quick action segment, one of the bandits, named Gummy Goo, glitches through a floor with Pomni and has an existential crisis as he realizes that he isn't real. He and Pomni have a deep heart-to-heart conversation. While that's happening, all the other characters are stuck in a river of chocolate. I can't find where I am in the scripts. And find a chocolate monster that eats candy people. Anyway, after Pomni and Gummy Goo escape using a clone truck, they transport the other truck to the kingdom, and the first truck the bandits take. Pomni takes Gummy Goo to the circus, but Cain explodes Gummy Goo for safety, and Pomni looks traumatized by it. Not the best move there, AI character. Anyway, on to the next episode, episode 3. Cain announces that the adventure will be a horror one that was specifically designed for Zubul, but Zubul doesn't join again. Pomni gets so scared in the mansion that her eyes pop out and she can't put them back in. There are the non-spooky door and the spooky door. Waited a half, how much? Oh, Zubul's only. And well, Zax makes a Luigi's Mansion reference, which is the high point of this episode for me. And Zax throws Gangle's mask and into the scary door, and Pomni and Zax retrieve it. Pomni unwillingly, though. Anyway, after escaping a horrifying monster twice, I think it's more than twice, they take a break and Kinga opens up. He says that the dark helps him think more clearly. It reminds him of when his wife abstracted and calmed down in the dark. His wife loved bugs and got Kinga to love them as well. Everyone eventually escapes later on in the episode. While all that horror was happening, Zubul explained to Kane that they hated their body and nothing fit them, as if you haven't noticed, they've been changing their body parts. And now on to episode 4. After Zax breaks Gangle's mask for the billionth time with a ball, Zubul gives Gangle a plastic mask, which is basically a mask, which is basically the antagonist of this episode. We found out that Kane has a suggestion box. He and Gangle decide to use the adventure. A nice hard day's work at Spudsy's restaurant chain. And Zubul unwillingly joins this adventure because, they've missed out on 2 adventures so far, so they have to at least join this one. After torturing Zax and being bossy, she throws away her mask and seems happy. Dun. She then trips and gets hit by a truck. I think that this is her way of separating herself from this mask that she's unhappy with. It made her not her, if that makes sense. It was physically her, but with personality it wasn't. Don't just take my word for it on that scene though. I find that one of the more confusing ones. I know she's happy to escape something, but what, I don't fully know. Maybe she's escaping the mask, maybe she's escaping all the breakdowns she did throughout the day. Oh yeah, and earlier, Ragatha accidentally drugged herself. And Pomni has an awkward conversation with Gummy Goo. After their day finished, Gangle felt like everybody now hated her, but Zubul comes by and tells her the new mask was a bust. So what? And Gangle goes back to the group. And now on to episode 5 of the amazing digital circus. Wow, this is actually a shorter episode than I thought it would be. This episode is again using the suggestion box, but instead of one adventure, it's multiple. After a bunch of funny adventures, we go to stargazing. In stargazing, Ragatha accidentally blurts out that Zax had friends that abstracted. Later in the next 2 episodes, we found out that it was Kaufmo and Wibbit. Also, Kane realizes that nobody likes his adventures, so he goes to intermission. Also, Wibble suggests that he dies and throws a beach party.
Intermission time.
Did you notice it? Did you notice that frog that Jax is staring at? That is Wibbit. That is, if, I don't know why you wouldn't have thought that it was, what Wibbit would have been. It's kind of obvious that they would have been a frog. But that is Wibbit, and you already know what Cosmo looks like. Not the abstracted form. He's a clown, which is actually really close to a jester. Even in episode 1, they say that he rambled on about an exit. I think there's too many similarities with Cosmo, and I think there's too many similarities with Cosmo and Pomni. So I forgot their names for a second, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, next up is the ball scene, where we learn about almost everybody's backstory. Ragatha was a rich farm girl that works in real estate and had mom issues. Pomni works at the supermarket and was an unpopular YouTuber that did videos on creepy abandoned buildings. Zubul was a tattoo artist and a bar person who also likes to explore creepy abandoned buildings. GANGLE wanted to do their own manga webcomic, but when learning graphic design, she quit after a while and went to work in a place like Spudsy's. Also, for Jax's backstory, he just references a movie that is called Breaking Bad. Also, Jax is really scared of Khan. Anyway, after the bowl scene, they go to softball. This is the part in the episode where I usually stop, because I usually come to this episode for the funny, but there's also something in here that's they face against basically just opposite versions of themselves. For some reason, GANGLE doesn't do one, because it doesn't have one. They even address that. I don't know why I don't understand. Especially as GANGLE is my favorite. Anyway, later Jax and Ragatha fell out for the 20th time. Also, Jax is wearing a maid outfit because Zubul voted for it. Later in the episode, when I say later I mean almost at the end, Pomni joins Jax as he goes to show her something. Ragatha wonders if she should do something, but instead just joins the other. The creepy part is that a blank NPC is stalking them. Anyway, on to episode 6. This episode is a little different as they have the favorite character awards, cutting the adventure short. This adventure in this episode is basically just Kane's version of a battle royale shooter, where Zax and Pomni are a team. Gangle and Zubul are a team. And that leaves Ragatha and Kinga are a team. There we go. So we also find out in this episode that Kane has images of the real world, which is definitely not weird at all. Kinga decides, just makes up a wall that because Ragatha lost her heart, he just makes up this butterfly that heals her. This is an incredibly weird thing. It's very weird. While everyone else is shooting stuff, Pomni and Zax are bonding while doing target practice. This is a really nice scene, I think, because we get to see more about Zax and how he views the circus. Later on, Gangle and Zubul have a deep heart-to-heart conversation where Gangle opens up about her fears of Zax and that she hates a part of herself that she thinks makes her worse than everything else, and Zubul gives the greatest advice that you can give. After Ragatha and Kinga are both out, Ragatha tells Kinga that she feels like she's pushing Pomni away, and Kinga gives great advice because everyone in this show gives great advice. I suggest you watch this clip by yourself, but that's what I say for every single clip. It helps you understand this show and its characters in a greater depth. And you will do it after watching this over 20-minute video, hopefully. After everyone else lost, Pomni thinks that they had bonded and hugs Zax, but he pushes her away and says that they aren't friends. And this is the most annoying scene in the entire show for me. In the Favorite Character Awards show, Zax goes to the bathroom and nearly abstracts. That's what all this hyperventilating and vision blurring is. After Kane mistakes that he is everyone's favorite character, and it actually turns out to be Ming, a side character that Kinga made for what everyone says about assuming joke. Kane later looks into a box and into the Favorite Character Awards box, and he didn't get voted. Like at all. No one voted for him. Okay, now we're at episode 7. Where this is where the law, where explaining this gets really tricky for me. Like, I had to take a break from writing the scripts and wait until the next day. So, while I'm recording, please like and subscribe. I literally wrote 22 pages and over 2,000 words in this script for this video. So, and I love the Amazing Digital Circus, but this video is going to be as long as the first episode of the Amazing Digital Circus if I keep this up. So anyway, please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Content on the Amazing Digital Circus. But anyway, back to the law video. Kane does a little joke about the Chinese womb, basically saying that he thinks that the person on the other side is going to give him great advice, but he can't understand Chinese, which I found was hilarious, by the way. While everyone else is partying at the beach, Jax looks at a photo of Cosmo and Wibbit with oh my god, my phone is actually really annoying me at this recording stage. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing. Oh my god. Anyway, those arms are Wibbits, if you couldn't tell, because they're green. I literally went over this so many times and I didn't notice those were Wibbits' arms. I just thought they were random ones that come out of a triangular shaped hole, and Jax nearly abstracts, and this scene is always painful to watch. It's not like mentally, it's like my eyes when I watch this scene. It's like I can't. It's so bright and it's like a kaleidoscope. Anyway, Jax almost abstracts but gets woken up by a doorbell, and Pomni and Ragatha inform Jax that this blank NPC from episode 5, yeah, I remember that one like a few minutes ago, was another worker from the company CNA. Remember that sign from episode 1? Wow, 7 episodes in and we're finally actually getting answers. That's took a little while. Took actually 2 years, I think. It took 2 years. Oh my god, it took 2 years. Wow, that's wow. Anyway, and Abel thinks that they found a way out. They entered here because the company was putting all the workers into stasis pods. That's what they also put that same effects of the stasis pods into the headsets, VR headsets. Kane is a prisoner here that is kept there to keep everyone's mind healthy and stimulated. Also, the way out is in Kane's office. The thing is, though, they can't inform Kinga, and they have to get into the Chinese room. After a really hilarious joke that they used so many keys, but the door was actually unlocked in the first place. I just love the way that Pomni smiles in this scene. It's just so funny. They go to a room that Kane used, that joke that Kane used for earlier. They find out that Kane's an AI, which was a surprising twist that surprised absolutely nobody. Also, they think of a plan. First, they get a key from Kane's office. Second step, they were Zubul and GANGLE were supposed to distract Kane, but Jax already took care of that for them. Also earlier, GANGLE informed Kinga about everything, but he couldn't remember who Abel was. Very suspicious if you ask me. Anyway, third step, they go to the Ragatha and Pomni and Abel go to that bubble thing, the administration zone, and get administrator keys. But on the way, they talk about how they have a deep trust in Kinga. So yeah. Also, Zax asks if Zubul has anyone waiting for them, and Zubul answers by yes and asks, does Zax? But he does a very skeptical yes, which sounds like I was sounding. Abel turns all of them into ball farms and throws them into Kinga's office. Another scene that really hurts my eyes. They are met with a blue and red. They all end up inside with the blue and red door again, opening up. And they realize that every place they went to, there are balls with them on. Also, when Zax goes and looks at... When Zax looks at that orb, you can actually barely hear that Zax is arguing with someone inside of that orb. In Kane's office, they are shown with a blue button and a red button. Red button will close the console, blue button will make them stay. And the team, I say team, I mean characters, friend group, not including Zax, try to decide which button to press, as this will change everything for them. Zax starts hyperventilating and is nearly abstracting again. And in this hyperventilating process, he slams on the red button, which, well, I forgot which button it's with. I think that's the one that makes them stay. That is the one that makes them stay, and Kane appears, and everyone realizes that this was just another dumb, stupid adventure made by Kane, and this is how Zax
feels. I was right. I can't believe I was right!
What would have happened if we picked the other button?
Oh, I didn't put too much thought into that one, cause I knew you'd never pick it. So I left that up to Bubble.
I made it take you to Shrimp Town.
Yeah, it was gonna take you to Shrimp Town. You dirty liar! You scumbag! You made me... You got in my head! You just lie about everything, don't you? Huh? You can mess with our minds too, can't you? The stupid sauce, the vegan thing, God knows what else!
Our names?
No, hold on, guys.
Yeah, after that, Kane starts, panicking, and tries to answer it, but then Kinga says Squats, the first abstraction, and Kane freaks out even more, which then begs the question, who is this Squats character? Why is Kane freaking out? It's all kind of weird. But anyway, but that is the amazing digital recap of this circus. I hope you've enjoyed, because that was 13 pages of scripts. So I hope that helps in your understanding of the amazing digital circus. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.